Today, and look what just found. We are doing pocket change edition. This is, we have a jar that I'm going to show you in a second. A pocket change that was donated to the channel. And we went through quite a bit of it already. And what I like about having these different bags, to put it that way, we have our donated pennies pocket change. We have the donated pocket change, which is the quarters, the nickels, the dimes that my son had donated to the channel. We have the bank submitted, customer submitted penny rolls. We have the Federal Reserve submitted penny rolls that we get from a different bank. And when I get pockets change, I just throw it right into this jar. So there is some of my pocket change in here also. And right now it's this full, right? So less than half. So we've been putting quite a big dent in it. And without further ado, let's see what we can do. Now, I want to put out enough to do. I'm getting pretty good at measuring how much it takes to do, close to a 1 hour video. A 1 hour video kind of goes by, for me anyway. I hope it goes by quick for you too. Whoops. All right. I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay. Whatever that is, that's what we're going to do. I mean, the great thing about not putting is you're better off putting too little than too much on the table, because, I kind of feel obligated to doing all the change once it's on the desk. You know what I mean? So a lot of quarters, a lot of everything, I guess, but the quarters always look so like they take up so much real estate. I guess that's normal. And then all I do is, if you watch my videos, is I just separate as quickly as possible the oh, look at this, we got a real, yeah. See, you're not supposed to cheat, you're not supposed to cheat. My specialty, if I had to say I had a specialty, it would be with pennies, right? Because I guess I've done them more often than any other denomination of US coin. But with that said, outside of this is my opinion, I guess. Maybe somebody would disagree with me. Outside of like very specific errors that either you need a microscope for, or you need to know what to look for, right? So a lot of the state quarters have these very, very small, all errors in general are small. In general, of course you can have something that's clipped and that's very apparent, a really misaligned die. There's a lot of errors you can see from the moon, right? Because they're so obvious that, a child can identify them. You don't even need to have any special skill, which is one of the nice things about the hobby, is that really, I'm going to say probably 90% of the errors, you really don't even need any classical training or that much time invested, right? Misaligned dies, die clashes, Brock, off-centered, misplaced this, double dies. Most of those lamination errors, you don't really need any. It doesn't take a you know a brain surgeon to find those errors. I mean, it just doesn't. Now, the ones where you need to use a microscope and you're looking for very specific errors, and okay, got a bunch of copper there. That's good. We'll leave that for the end. One more dime. Those types of errors, yeah, and like the state quarters and every single I believe every single state quarter has its own. Someone has found an error and named it after themselves. All right, so we're gonna do dimes first, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, and we're gonna see what's what. Now, one of the nice things about doing different denominations, different types of, I see that in the eye. You see that in the eye? Just have to make sure that that's not a doubled eyeball. I doubt it, but weird stuff going on there. Where's my loop? No, those are the eye wrinkles. They're just, for some reason, they look very pronounced in this coin. And one of the nice things about doing, having different types of coins to go through is keeps you from getting bored, Keeps me from getting bored anyway. This is a nice run over by I have this fluorescent light. I think the I don't know if it's called the bulb or the filament needs to be changed because it's getting to that point where it's like there it goes again. Oh man, I'm gonna have to order one where it starts to blink. And I remember, oh, that's a nice, I hope it's on both sides. That's a nice misaligned die, 1979. Is not on both sides. What's that though at the top? Anything interesting there? Yeah, I've seen that before. With the lines going through it. Let me just look at that. Yeah, the last one I found was really, really nice. This one is not as nice. And it probably has something to do with the misaligned die. I'm not going to keep it. It's not, I give everything the dollar test. I say, someone asks, would I or somebody else pay $1 for it? And if the answer is no, forget about it. And there's a lot of errors like that. And I put a bunch of them on the eBay store, and a lot of them haven't sold. People just aren't, even for $1, just not interested in it. There's certain errors Oh, this one's. I'll hold on to this one even if it's just to make a video on it. That is pretty misaligned. It'd be nice if it's on the back. Check it out. All right, so just very quickly. Interesting. It's misaligned, and it has the crimp roll on it, and the P is pretty fat too. But I'll hold on to it. It's an interesting dime. Decided to make a video on it. So pocket change is where it's basically where the channel started. I don't know if I mentioned that in every single video, but it's pretty cool because, well, I mean, there are hundreds of books written on pocket change. I picked one up. I know there's a very I picked up the famous one that people use. I don't know if it's called the pocket change reference or I have it over here somewhere. And I think it shows a lot of different valuable errors. I watched a couple videos that referenced the book, but I noticed that those videos, like they don't go into details. They might show a little tiny clip inside the book, but you have to be very careful with books because you can be what's that called? Copyright struck or something. Unless you get like written permission from the book owner. Or if it's, I guess, I'm gonna look at that 4. Look how the reflection goes on the 4 when you go like that. I'm sure it's nothing, but ugh. I'll still check it out regardless. Nope. I know we found a we found the silver. Did we find a silver? Yeah, we found a silver dime once. That's a beauty. Wow. Oof. Boy, is that close to a proof. I'll put that to the side too. Even proof dimes are only cost, if they are proof, so they only cost $1. I guess it depends on which one we're talking about, but I'm saying generally speaking. But we found 2 nice dimes, 2 interesting dimes. See, that's a 2002. All right, let's do the nickels next. All right, this one's moved. This video is gonna move. Well, believe it or not, what I noticed is sometimes the quarters can take a little extra bit of time for some reason. Why can't you be a silver? Nice war nickel, 1940 something. Yep. Yep, those are the only silvers I found since I've been doing coin roll hunts and pockets change reviews. I found a war nickel, right, which I believe is 40% silver. And I found a Roosevelt silver dime. And that is the extent of my silver finds over the course of the past 4 months. And I'm happy with it. I got really excited when I found them. It was pretty cool. And I think that's part of the thrill of coin roll hunting, going through your pocket change, is to see if you get anything interesting. Right? Simple, it's free, right? It's the change you got in your pocket. My wife donated her piggy bank to the channel around the holidays, right? A few months ago. And it was really, really cool. There's something magical about maybe it's the holidays too. I mean, it was really, the channel was just taking off, and my wife had her piggy bank. You know what I mean? It was Christmas. It was cool, man. It was cool, and then I took the change and I put it on the. You can watch it, right? You can watch it. I think if you look for, I think if you type piggy bank into search, it should come up. And, well, spoiler alert, go ahead 30 seconds or something if you don't want to hear, if you're planning on watching it. Or a minute. I might talk about it for a minute. Put the change on the desk, and I mean, if you've never found a proof, then if ever you do find the proof and it's mixed up with other change, it's almost like there's a light bulb. We got ourselves a Canadian, right? Canadians, I say Bermuda. Look at that. 1983, 5 cents. Is it a nickel if it says 5 cents? Interesting. And I'll look at the D. I just look at it. And it just like a beacon, No, I don't think so. Two more. And it was just so, like, wow. I mean, it was so cool, it was the holidays. It was a donation from my wife. It was her piggy bank. The channel was getting, 40, 50 subscribers a day. Here we go, do a video, and there's a proof in my wife's piggy bank. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. Maybe you could, but it was super duper cool. All right, now we're on quarters. Let me see if I have to zoom out a bit. Nah, I think we're okay over here. Yeah, every one of these. I mean, put it like this: if there's a quarter that does not have a known or a declared error, that would be much more rarer. That would be the rare one. Oh wow, this state quarter has no stated error. I mean, I know a couple of them. And of course, anything with an animal, you got to look to see if it's spitting. Anything with a face, you got to see if there's dye chips on the face. especially around the mouth. Makes George look like he's got herpes. So far, we haven't found anything. Oh, that's not true. We found the Canadian. We found that proof-like, and then we found the one pretty severe misaligned dye that, and it had some other stuff going on with it. So that was pretty cool. But my experience is you need, if you, for a nice handful of change, a solid handful of change, to really go through it by eye, you need to give yourself an hour. That's my experience. Maybe 40 minutes, 40 minutes to an hour. Nice quiet place. Peaceful. As few distractions as possible. It's so easy. I did the video. If you put in if you, I don't know if you have to put in Kennedy half dollar or DDR, but I did a video on these silver Kennedy half dollars that I had, and I did one on 100 of them, but it's the one I'm talking about is the one on 200 of them, and I wasn't very familiar with Kennedys. Like I said, I did 100 of them prior to that, and then I did the one with two. I had 300 altogether, but I had two separate videos, one with 100 and one with 200. And the one I'm talking about now is the one with 200. And I found this great double die reverse, right? So obviously I put that one to the side. I might have put one or two others that had like real minor errors. But what I did put to the side were the ones that were in better condition. Because the nice silver coins, you get a little bit extra for them. If they're worth $5, maybe you'll get 6, for example. So I had about 7 or 8 of them. Are they still the rate? Are they there? I threw them into the because I'm cleaning them. I threw them into the paint stripper. That'll be a cool video when I decide to take those out. Probably gonna give them away as gifts or on the channel. But they look nicer. So after I do my this is the long version, right? This is the episode version. This is long. But as soon as this is over, I do an abridged version, right? And after I'm done with the abridged version, I do the shorts. So you gotta watch them. If you haven't seen them, they're really certain ones are better. I mean, all my videos are pretty good. Like, so if you just like my videos, that's great. Thank you. Let me look at something real quick. What year is this? 89. Let me find another, whatever type of quarter you call this one. Yeah, let me just see something. Just want to compare the arrows that the eagle's holding, and you could just really see all those little points on it. I thought it was pretty cool. I never noticed that. Let me check out the mint mark. No. So when I'm doing the shorts on those really nice looking silver the Kennedys, the nice ones, right? I did a short on them, like, oh, look at these. And what I noticed when I'm doing a short is that, wow, one of them looked like it also had doubling, like the one that I noticed and identified on the long version. So I made a mental note. I see that there, like that kind of depression. I made a mental note of it, and after I was done with the short, I went looking for that coin. And lo and behold, it had very similar double die on the reverse as the one that I identified, but I missed it. I missed it. But because, if this was a 64, man. But because I do the extra reviews, I found it, and it's probably the doubling. I mean, I don't know how I missed it, man. I got to be honest with it. That's a lack of concentration. It could be a lack of sleep from the night before. Whatever it is, there's really no excuse. Because that $half is probably worth a minimum of $500. The significant silver $half with significant errors are expensive. And a similar one, when I say similar, I mean that a silver Kenny $half with a easily identifiable error sold for $400 within 90 days from when I did the video, and I checked on it, and I thought mine was. I'll look at that. I'm pretty sure that's just bagged. Yeah, it's just bagged. I thought mine was better. Maybe even a lot better than the one that sold for 400. So I say 5, just not to over exaggerate. If you see the video, you could check it out and let me know what you think in the comments. But that's the cost, or that's the price you pay. Well, you don't even know you paid it, right? I mean, I could have missed something in those quarter and any of the change today, and yes. So that is where the expertise does come into play, and the experience does come into play. Yes. For that, I mean, for the one out of 1,000 errors that are not identified, and if they're really significant, you lost out on money. I lost out on money, and I almost lost out on that one. And those 2 coins are probably the 2 biggest errors that I ever found. I found some good ones, but those 2, those are for the books. Those might be the best ones I ever find. I will look at that eye, because that is weird. That is a weirdo. I'm going to say I have to look at another one. I have another one here. Yeah, I do. I just want to see what they look like. They are close to each other. The irony end is very close. I think what see what looks like it was, maybe it was struck or something. I see. And the iron end is so, they're really, really on top of each other though. Is that how they are? I guess so. It's kind of weird how they touch like that. You know, they don't give any space for the I and the N. And this one, yeah, almost right there. It almost looks like a D, but it's not. But it's just the way the lighting's hitting it. All right, we almost had something. Still a pretty cool, cool looking I and N. I won't hold on to it though. So that's the fear, you know. The fear is that you go too fast or too slow. I just want to look at a different coin for the for a comparison to the top. How it's supposed to look, you know. Yeah, it's a little damaged. It's to miss something, right? Because then you're losing out on money, right? And there's somebody out there who wants that error. I know. I see that in the P. You just have to watch. I think it's just reflection. Ah, interesting. No, it's I don't even know what you call it. It's not. It's a hard to call it. It looks like a doubling there. It probably is. The problem is when you look at it from a different angle, like that. You have to really. It's almost like a reflection, but it kind of looks like doubling. Let me see it again. Yeah, it's doubled. It's a double. It's a double. I'll hold on to it, even if it's just to make the video. This should show that we found something cool. You know what I mean? On one of them. I look at this one too. You see? I think that just the P, if they're punched a certain way, they just give that extra P look on the bottom. But that one really had a significant, I shouldn't say significant, but you know, like a noticeable extra P, you know? Just pretty noticeable. More noticeable than I usually see. Maybe a little bit more than a shadow or reflection. Okay. All right. We're doing good. We're doing good. 35 minutes. Let's do the, let's play a little game. I'll put here what I think is zincs, and I'll try to separate, because I really can't. I mean, obviously the shields, you know, are zincs. And then the browner ones, I will separate. And we'll see if if how many errors I made by eye, between what's copper and what is zinc. Okay, I even put that one in. I put even a dark one into the zinc pile, and I think those are all copper, except for maybe one that I can't tell really. All right, let's look. Yeah, so pocket change is fun. Obviously, it's a little bit more fun when you find stuff, but I think you have to make it interesting. You have to have a desire to investigate the coin, maybe a little bit more, than the next person or the last person. Right? Like to me, you see the VDB. Like it looks like there's another little mark on the left of the V. I can't tell what that is, so I'm gonna look at it. Let's look at it. It's dirt. And 99% of the time, or 999 out of 1,000 or more, that's all it's going to be is a little mark. So let's see if any of these are copper. I doubt it. I mean, especially the real shiny looking ones. Here goes one. This one could be copper. This could be copper. Yeah. It's a beautiful 76. Wow. Okay. We found one in pocket change. That's really nice. I find that so interesting how this can be circulating in someone's pocket. I mean, I don't know. And it still looked that good. I guess that's what I was trying to say. It still looked that beautiful. I think there are people who collect the 2017 P, right? I know. I watched an episode of Two Shed Gabbies, and he he was like, "Oh yeah, someone told me about the saving the 2017 Philadelphia's, and by the end of the video, he had a ton of them, and it was kind of humorous. The way he put it was like, okay, I guess they're not that rare. So he wasn't sure why someone had suggested to him, even though he went through it, which was pretty cool. Um, yeah, but I think me and Two Sheds, I think we're about in the same age range. And he reminds me of a New Yorker, and I've seen him travel around to banks, and for some reason I thought he was. I mean, it could be Yonkers or maybe Jersey or something like that, but Northeast is what he reminds me of. Northeasterner, a New Yorker. He reminds me of a New Yorker. Even if he's not from New York, he reminds me of a New Yorker. And his thing is collecting copper, which let me tell you, I mean, he's gonna obviously if copper really goes up, which it's gonna go up, copper's gonna go up, and and the dollar is going to go down. So, I mean, if you're sitting on $10,000 in pennies, and pennies become worth 5 cents, well, as far as copper, I'm talking about copper pennies. I'm sorry, I should have clarified that. If you're sitting on $10,000, which would be what's that? A million pennies? How much is that? $10,000. You put 2 zeros behind. No, that'd be 100,000. I don't know. 1 0. 10,000 plus 1 0 is 100,000. That'd be a million pennies. That's right. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like those little circles. Okay, I might have to do a. I'll put that to the side. This has an interesting one. Yeah, it's a million pennies. So if you got a million, whatever. If you have $10,000 in pennies, in copper pennies, right now that would be worth $20,580 in copper. Just wanted to check that out again. So if copper went up to 5 cents for each copper penny, then that would be you'd be sitting on 50,000. If you have $10,000 in copper pennies, you'd be sitting on $50,000. That's pretty significant. That's a pretty significant. I mean, already at 2.58, that's pretty significant. But at if it went up to 5, I mean, I don't know how that works with trying to sell pennies. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm just saying, just the math of it. You're talking about 50 grand for 10,000. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's probably going to take me a lifetime to get to that point. Yeah, I don't ever think I'll get to that point. I just don't. I don't think I do enough of them. I do other things also, so I don't think I. But I think he has. I don't know what he has. I can't remember. Does he have $1 million? Does he have 1 million pennies? I don't remember. I know he talks about it a lot, and I just can't remember. All right, so here we go. So there was one copper in the zinc, and then on this one, I just want to see if any of these look like they might be. And it doesn't matter, right? All right, maybe one of these. These look like really. I mean, here we go. So there was. This is the one that I wasn't sure if it was going to be a zinc, and it was. Got some zinc rot there. I'll put that to the side. That at least we got some content for shorts, and for the significant finds edition. So far we haven't found any zincs. We found, any coppers. We had 2 zincs. I think those are the 2. I think the rest of these should be copper. $19.80. Oh, this is probably zinc too. Yeah, 2000. Close AM. $62D, huh? $78. Yeah, so I definitely keep the copper. I feel good about it when I save the copper. I'm gonna look at that D. That's 7. That date, man, really looks elongated. I know it's not, but it just looks it. Especially at 7, looks like a stick. Nope. 82. Oh man, if that was a oof. Man, if that was a let me weigh it. I know it's a copper, but I'm just saying. $313. It's a large date. I want it to be a small date. But it's not. It's a large date. I still hold on to them. The ones in nicer condition are obviously more sought after. You got to be kidding me. This is a wood lamination. It's a lamination error, I guess is what I should say. Now I can't believe we got two 82Ds back to back. I'll look at them in a second. I mean, what's the odds of that? I guess pretty good. I guess it's pretty good. Another zinc. Not too many coppers. I guess not too bad. Maybe we're at 10% or something. I'll take it. And one of them is in beautiful condition. I'm going to weigh this one. It has that kind of crimson toning. $312. Yeah, this could be sintered. This might be sintered. Right? See, annealing, it's just to the surface. To me, this could be sintered. I'll put it to the side. We'll take a look at it, like I said. And last but not least, look at that. Look at how the letters, they're almost like Play-Doh on top of the field. You notice that? Isn't that amazing? It's almost like they're placed there, like Play-Doh. How you doing there, Lincoln? Wow, that's amazing. Okay. And let's look at those 82s before we wrap this up. Two 82Ds back to back. I just want to look at the 8s. Right, the 8s. I mean, this one is has the lamination error. Yeah, no big deal. Both Denvers, coppers. That one looks a little doubled. Let me check it out real quick. Nah, it's just the way those D's, some of them have the and the letter, the top part has sticks out a little bit. Yeah, you can see it in all of them. Okay, all right, so that was pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing mind blowing. It's pretty nice too. That's the one we found before. Nothing mind blowing. One really nice looking penny. Mostly zinc. And then what I do is just to show you, and this is the this is the jar that I put them in, and that's for search. It's searched. And then from the jar, it goes into the water cooler jug. So that is that. Okay. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you on the next one. Is this thing still on? Did I switch it off by accident? What's going on over here? I don't know if I'm ever gonna get if I'm ever gonna get if that's ever gonna get old or not. So that was episode 85. And it was pocket change, bunch of quarters, bunch of everything. Nothing too mind blowing there. We got the that dime. I can see it from here. Look, I'm telling that I don't think it's no. It's just really, really great condition. Maybe polished. Um, but outside of that, we had the 82s. One of them looks like it was. One of them has a lamination error. But that's what you get, right? It's more interesting, or it's fun, and you're searching, you're hoping to find something, and you sharpen your skills, right? Your eye coordination, your flipping. So that's it for today. Thank you for coming. Please click like and subscribe. I think I always have to ask that. If not, a lot of people will not click like or subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.